In this video, we are going to discuss the Cases feature and setting up a case. From the dashboard, we'll head over to the feature list and we'll find Cases here. When you click on Cases, you'll be brought to this page. This is where your cases will be stored and organized and where you can access specific cases to work on them. Cases are organized based on their status. Up here, you can see your total cases, active cases, completed cases, pending cases, and rush cases. A case's status can also be viewed here under status, where then you'll see active, pending, and completed. You can also click on these boxes for a quick way to view the cases that are organized by these statuses. Here you'll see all of your pending cases, all of your rush cases, which we don't have any at the moment, all of your completed cases, all of your active cases, and then of course your total cases here. Now, cases are further organized with their name, a case number, an email address, the due date for when that case is to be completed, and then their status. You can also search for a case by typing in a name, a case number, or an email address associated with a case. Now let's go ahead and set up a case. To set up a case and add a new case to your Caseflow Investigator account, you have a few different options. If you have a case file that is already on your device, you can select Import Case, and you can import a case that way. Or you can select Add a Case, which we are going to do. Once you click Add Case, you'll be brought to this page here. This is where you will be prompted to add some basic case information. We have a case number, a due date. Here you can assign that case as a rush case or not. You can also use the case details to create a calendar event. Here you can add employer or client information and claimant or subject information. And then here you'll select the investigator that will be assigned to the case. We are going to manually create a case in just a moment, but I would also like to point out that you also have the option to use this Smart Entry feature here. We are going to begin by using that feature. So this feature is intended for investigators or firms that may receive an assignment sheet from their client. For example, when I receive a new case, I may receive some sort of an assignment sheet that looks like this. Here you can see the type of investigation is an AOE COE. Here you have the case number. Here we have the claimant's name, the claimant's date of birth, the claimant's phone number, the date of incident, the company name, company contact person, company phone number. Here we have a witness name, witness contact, the location of the incident, and then here they are requesting that the subject be interviewed and that we conduct surveillance. And then here are some additional special instructions for this investigation. So usually I would use that assignment sheet, and then I would use that case information to manually create a case file. However, using the Smart Entry tool, we can click on that, and you can simply drag and drop your assignment sheet right into the Smart Assign feature. It takes just a moment, and the program will identify the different information on the assignment sheet and parse it out. Here you can see that it has selected AOE, COE, and surveillance. It's put in the case number. It's put in the injury date, the claimant's information, the employer's information, and here are the special instructions, and then here is the witness information. So you can go through, and of course you'll want to make sure that all of this information is correct, and then you could go ahead and assign or confirm this assignment. Additionally, if there's other investigation types, you could select those. And if an investigation type is not listed here, you can also manually input an investigation type. So all of this looks good. We're going to go ahead and confirm assign. Now you can see that that information has been input into these different locations. And I'm going to select a due date. Let's say that this assignment is due December 31st. Now I'm going to assign this case to an investigator. So if you are the admin or manager of an account and you are responsible for assigning cases to investigators, you can simply find that investigator's account by searching for it here. Then you would select the investigator. For this example, I'm just going to assign it to my own account. If there are multiple investigators working on a case, you can add all of their usernames into this section here. And then this case file will auto-populate in that investigator's account. So I've selected my own account, and I'm going to click complete. Now you'll see that that case has generated here. This is the name of the grocery store, or the client in this case, where the AOE COE investigation is going to occur. Here's the case number. There's no email address for this case, and here's the due date. And when you first set up a case, it's going to automatically, or by default, be given a pending status. Now, once you create a case, you'll click the action button here. This will bring down this menu where then you have some additional options. The first option is to have the case summarized. So this is using CFI's AI assistant, which will analyze the case details and give you a summary. Since we just created this case, the summary will be just using the information that we input into the case when setting it up. However, as you add information into a case and documents and new discoveries, the case summary will also become more detailed. So here you can see that it's given me a summary based on the information that we've put into the case so far. Now you can download this summary, and this can be kept for your case file, your personal records, or it could be shared with a colleague or client so that they can get an understanding of a case. And as I mentioned, as the case develops and progresses, the summary will also reflect that. Next, you have View Details. We're going to click that in just a moment. That's how you'll actually enter the case, where then you can start working on it. Here you can export the case. That will bring the case and all of the documents inside of the case into an external file that can then be stored on an external hard drive or kept for your personal records. And then of course you can delete a case by clicking delete case. If you do that, this second message will pop up to make sure that you're certain that you want to delete a case. If you press yes delete, that case will be permanently deleted. So always be sure that you wish to delete a case if you move forward with deletion. So we are going to click view details, and that will bring us inside of the case that we just created. Here you can see case number, the date it was created on, the due date for this case, how much time you have logged for this case, which we will discuss in just a moment. Here you have the subject information and the employer or contact information. Here's the special instructions. Here's the type of investigation. Here's the injury date, injury details, and the claimant's date of birth. And remember, this was all from that assignment sheet, which had then been parsed out through the Smart Entry feature. Here you can see the lead investigator and all of the investigators that are assigned to this case. So again, I only assign this case to myself, but if there are other individuals or other investigators assigned to a case, you'll be able to see their information here. Now, once you're inside of a case, if you need to make any edits to the initial case information, you can do that by clicking Edit Case here. That will bring you back to this page. So here you can change the status of a case. Now let's go ahead and give this case an active status. Then if you want to change any of this information or add information, for example, let's go ahead and add a email address. Or if you need to change any of this information, let's go ahead and get rid of that. You can go in here and update all of the information that you need to, and then we'll go ahead and click complete, and you'll see that the status has now changed to active, and that change here to the case type or investigation. So you can always update a case through the Edit Case button. Also, if we leave this case by clicking this left facing arrow here, that will bring us back out here. You'll see that email address has been updated and the status has been updated. If we click Active Cases, we'll also find this new case here in our active cases. So again, we'll click the action button, view details, and we'll go back inside of the case. Now, once you're in a case, you have many different specially curated tools at your disposal. So here, like I mentioned, we have log time. Here is the timer tool. This is where you can track all of your time that you've spent working on a case. You can also create detailed billing reports or invoices, and you can also track and manage expenses. Here we have our files, where you can organize all of your documents that are used for a case. Here we have our view tasks, where you can create detailed task and checklists. We have our blank canvas, which is sort of like a chalkboard or cork board, and it's a digital version where you can input evidence photos or create text or brainstorm. You can think of this as just a blank canvas where you can work on case details. Here we have our powerful surveillance tool and our chain guard or chain of custody tool. Here we have our notepad. This is a digital notepad where you can record notes. You can record notes by typing them. You can also dictate notes and store them here. This is also where you will bring in all of your files. So this is where you will upload photos or videos or audio files or text documents and reports. Whatever document a case requires, you'll use the notepad to bring them in. This is also where, when you upload audio, you can have the audio transcribed. So each one of these tools are quite detailed. So we are going to create a video on how to use each one of these tools. So be sure to watch each case's video for an in-depth description on how to utilize each tool. And of course, if you get stuck or need any additional information, always be sure to check out the guide, as the guide offers a detailed explanation on how to use all of the different features and tools. And as mentioned earlier, we are also going to take a look at how to manually add a case. To do that, we're going to again click the Add a Case button, and we'll be brought back to this page. Now, to manually add a case, we are simply going to follow the different prompted areas. We're going to add a case number. We're going to select a due date. And we are going to select if this is a rush case or not. And we're going to leave this one as a regular case. Now, for this one, we are going to create a calendar event. So to do that, you simply turn on this switch here, and you'll notice underneath these two new fields are generated. So here we're going to add a title, and this has a due date of January 1st, 2026. So I'm going to title this as case due, and I'm going to say case/report due January 1st, 2026 as the event description. Now we're just going to go through and add the rest of the information. And I'm going to assign this case to myself again. But if there are any other investigators working on the case, you can also assign those investigators to the case. Additionally, when you're manually adding a case, if you need any extra fields that are not covered in the pre-made fields, you can do that by clicking Add Custom Fields here. Then you'll be prompted to add a title or a label. We'll say witness, and then you'll add the value or name for that field. So here I'm just going to add one custom field for a witness. We'll save that. You can see that that custom field was added down here at the bottom. So you can add as many custom fields as you need to make sure that you cover all of the information for the case. We're going to go ahead and click complete now. And then here you can see that that case was created, given a pending status. And if we head to the dashboard, you'll see that event, case due, case/report due January 1st, 2026, and the due date listed here. And that would be how you manually add a case and create a upcoming event when creating a case.